It's Tuesday, May 5th, 2009. Thanks for stopping by. I want to urge you again today not to forget about Gaza. Don't forget about the people there who are still under siege, still starving, still in a desperate state, still living in a prison camp because of their race, which is unacceptable in this day and age. Now, I'm speaking to you from Bay City, Texas, which is, I am quite proud to say, the district of Ron Paul, the Republican in name only congressman from Texas. And I say in name only because he's not like the other Republicans. The Republican Party is morally and intellectually bankrupt, not much different from the Democratic Party, which on the face of it seems to be more progressive, but in practice is actually morally and intellectually bankrupt, just like the Republicans. It seems that Ron Paul is actually winning converts now. The Republicans and even some of the Democrats are recognizing that he understands what is going on in this country right now, that he understands what has happened to our economy, that everything that is going on now he has been predicting for some time now, and he knows exactly what to do to fix it. It's not an easy fix, but he knows what to do. And they understand now, some of them at least, that that our Constitution is important, that the rule of law is important, that adhering to the Constitution and adhering to the rule of law and disavowing torture and other crimes against humanity is a very, very important thing. So, he has about 10 people, 10 other congressmen who go to lunch with him every day. They meet with him on a regular basis, and they talk to him about the economy, about his political theories, and basically they learn from him every day. And his new bill, which targets the Federal Reserve and attempts to make the Federal Reserve more accountable to the government, which at the moment is not at all. It has 120-something co-sponsors, 127, I believe, co-sponsors already in Congress, which is pretty good. So we'll see, but it looks like Ron Paul and his ideas are doing nothing but getting stronger every day, and even some of the efforts to brand Ron Paul supporters as terrorists and as security threats because we support the Constitution. It looks like the backlash against that has been huge, and it's working. We're winning, and the government agencies that have tried to brand us as terrorists are starting to back down from their words and their actions. So we'll see what's going to happen, but it looks good so far. It looks like the Ron Paul revolution is still winding up. It's still gaining steam. It's not over because the presidential election is over. That was just a way for it to get started, for him to get some publicity for his ideas. Now I want to mention one other thing today, and that is that now Ron Paul is, people have accused him of being a racist, but of course he isn't. He doesn't agree in collectivism. He doesn't believe in collectivism at all, whether it's about race or religion or anything else. He believes in individual rights for everybody and equality for everybody. That's pretty obvious if you pay any attention to him at all. But people still accuse him of being a racist. But the fact is that racism is not at all as condemned in this country as it ought to be. It's quite accepted in many instances, for people to be racist. It's quite accepted for people to be racist against Arabs and Muslims. It's almost as well accepted for people to be racist against Jews. It's quite prevalent, it's pretty well accepted for people to be racist against Mexicans and other Hispanics. It's for a similar reason as the Jews, I think. They have these theories that the Jews are taking over the world or taking over the country, mostly because of the Bush administration and the Federal Reserve and stuff like that. They think it's all owned by Jews, which I couldn't tell you one way or the other, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a ridiculous idea, but and likewise they think that Muslims are trying to take over the world. They think everybody's trying to take over the world, but and they think that that Mexicans are taking all our jobs. That the Mexicans are some sort of threat to us, so they hate the Mexicans, and really it's not fair because half of Mexico used to be in the United States. We took over this land, so they were here before us. And not only that, but through good people like Clinton and Bush, we've destroyed their economy. So they don't really have much of a choice but to come here to try and find work. And they're not really a threat to us, but people see them that way. So the thing is, once you give in to this sort of hate, once it becomes acceptable, there's not really anybody that's going to be safe. If we decide to take care of all the Muslims, and to just exterminate them and wipe them all out, I guarantee you the Jews will be next, and then the Mexicans, and then the African Americans, and I don't know, the Polish, whoever they can find. They'll, maybe anybody who's not blonde, or maybe anybody who is blonde. There's just no telling. Once you start down that road, nobody is safe. And even if you are as white as you can possibly be, if you disagree and you say, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't be killing all these people, well, guess what? In the eyes of the racists, you're even worse. No one is hated more than someone of your own race who you believe is siding with the other races. Just like in the South, they reserve their most vindictive and cruel acts for the people who love the black people, as they said. I'm not going to repeat that word, but it's basically African American lover, but it started with an N. I'll let you fill in the blank. That was the worst thing you could be called, and that that would get you killed in an even more brutal manner than the black people. And so don't think that because you're the right race that you're safe. No one is safe if racism takes over in this country. And I say all this because recently a Hispanic man was beaten to death by six teenagers in the United States because he was Hispanic, and they, I think Mexican, and they said, go tell your Mexican friends that this is what's going to happen to them if they don't leave. They'll be lying next to your friend here. And that murder trial was overseen by an all-white jury, and all of those teenagers were acquitted of all charges, even though they murdered a man. Thanks for watching.